Hello guys, welcome once again. Today I have come with a very interesting question. I found this question in the NECO examination for 2021, the theory part. Now this is a further mathematics question. Can you try this question? The question says that we have a circle whose center is 3,1 and it is touching a line, and the equation of that line is 5x plus y minus 6 equals to 0. We are now required to find the radius of that circle and also the equation of the circle. How do we solve this kind of question? Can you solve it? I urge you to give it a trial. You can pause the video, try it, and after getting your answer, you can resume the video to see the solution to this question. Alright, well done. Now, let us see the solution to this question and see whether my answer and yours are the same. Let's start with the first part of the question. We are required to find the radius of this circle. Now, you see this question, we have been given some interesting details about what we are required to find. What do I have in mind? This is it. We were told the circle has a center 3,1. That 3,1 represents the address of the center, which we are going to represent as our x1, y1, and these values are 3, 1. We were also told about the straight line that this circle touches. Now, because of that is a straight line and the circle is touching it, it implies that that straight line is a tangent. Now, we are required to find the radius of that circle. What do we know about the relationship between the radius and that tangent? What we know is that the radius is going to be perpendicular to the tangent. What it means is that the radius is going to make angle 90 degree with that tangent. So what are we required to find? It implies that we are simply trying to find the length of the line from that point, which is the center of the circle, to that line, which is the tangent, and it is perpendicular to it. And guess what? We have a formula for doing that. And what is that formula? Let me show it to you. Now, if we have a straight line whose equation is ax plus by plus c equals to 0, and we have another point, say x1, y1. We now said there is a line that runs from this point to this straight line, and it is perpendicular to that straight line, whereby it is making angle 90 with it. And we are required to find the length of the line from this point to that straight line, just as what we have here. This is the point, this is the straight line that is here. We are interested in finding the length of the line from this point to this point. And because of the radius is making angle 90 with it, now what did the formula tells us? The formula says that if the length of the line we are looking for is L, then this L is going to be equal to the modulus or the absolute value of ax1 plus by1 plus c over the square root of a squared plus b squared. This is the formula for finding the length of the line from a particular point that is perpendicular to another line. Now, how do we now apply this formula? You see, this a represents the coefficient of x in the equation of the straight line. This b represents the coefficient of y in the equation of the straight line. And the c represents the constant in the equation of the straight line. While you see this x1 and the y1, they represent the coordinates of that point from which the line that is intersecting that straight line are meeting, and that is x1, y1. So based on what we have, our x1, y1 are 3 and 1. But the question now is, what is our a and what is our b, what is our c? Now, we have to recall the equation of the straight line that was given to us. We were told that the equation of the straight line is 5x plus y minus 6 is equal to 0. Now, if we compare this equation with this, you'll be able to see that A is standing as 5. Can you see that? Y is standing as, B is standing as the coefficient of Y, and that is positive 1. The coefficient of Y is positive 1. And what is C? C is the negative 6, minus 6. What is our x1 and y1? Our x1 is 3 and our y1 is 1. All we just have to do now to find the radius of this circle is to change this RL to R and say it is equal to the modulus of what is A? A is 5 based on the question we are given, multiplied by x1. What is x1? x1 is 3. Then we have plus, what is B? B is also positive 1, plus 1, multiplied by, what is y1? y1 is 1. Then plus C. What is C? C is negative 6. The modulus of this over the square root of A squared. What is A? A is 5, the square of it, plus what is B? B is what? B is positive 1, the square of it. All we now have to do is to simplify what we have here and get the radius. Now let's go on. So simplifying this, we have R is equal to the modulus of 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 times 1 is 1, and this is going to give us negative 6, because all we have to do is just to multiply these two signs and we have a negative 6, divided by the square root of 5 squared is 25, plus 1. Then R is equal to 15 plus 1 is 16, and 16 minus 6 is what? That is positive 10 over the square root of 26. Now, what this implies is that the absolute value of the numerator is still 10. So we have 10 over root 26. Now, because we can't leave our answer this way, because we are having an irrational denominator, we have to solve this by rationalizing the denominator. And then we are going to have R is equal to 10 over the square root of 26 multiplied by the square root of 26 over the square root of 26. And this is going to give us R equals 10, the square root of 26 over 26. And when we reduce this to the lowest term, we have 5 here and we have 13 here. 2 here is 5 and 2 here is 13, which means the radius of our circle is simply 5 root 26 over 3. And that is the solution to the first part of the question, which is the radius of the circle. Now, at this junction, let us now take a look at finding the equation of the circle. You can take a look at it one more time. Did you get the same answer as I have gotten? If you do, well done. That's a good job. Now, let's take a look at the second part of the question, the equation of the circle. No doubt you are having fun with this question. Now, let us take a look at the equation of this circle. How do we get the equation of a circle? Now, we have a general formula for finding the equation of a circle. Now, this is it. If we have a circle whose center is represented as A, B, the coordinate of the center, if we are looking for the equation of this circle, all we have to apply is to say, normally we are just going to pick an arbitrary point on the circumference of the circle. We name this place X, Y, and we draw a line to this place. Basically, when we are trying to find the equation of a circle, we are simply trying to form a right angle triangle and trying to find the Pythagoras theorem, using the Pythagoras theorem to find the radius of the circle. And how do we do that? The equation of a circle is now given by x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals to r squared, where the r represents the radius of the circle. Applying this formula, I can find the equation of this circle now. How do we do it? We have the a. In my own case, for this question, our a is 3. What is b? the value of b according to this question is 1, which are the coordinates of the circle. Remember, x1, y1. This represents the x ordinate and this represents the y ordinate as well. Now, based on what we have calculated the radius of the circle in the previous part, and the radius of our circle is 5, the root of 26 over 13. Now, having all these three parameters, what we have to do now is just to take all these parameters and substitute them into this formula. Then we have x minus, what is a? A is 3. We are going to square it, plus y minus b is 1 to the power of 2, which is equal to, this is our radius. We have 5 root 26 over 13 to the power of 2. Then what we then do now is to expand where necessary. To expand this, I don't have to stress myself. What I'm going to do is I will write x squared. Then I'll say 2 times x times minus this, and that will give me minus 6x. And what is the square of minus 3? That is positive 9. Plus y squared will be the first. 2 times y times minus 1 will give us minus 2y. And minus 1 raised to the power of 2 will give me positive 1. That is another quick way of finding the square of a binomial. Now, this is going to be equal to, the square of 5 is 25. The square of root 26 is 26. And the square of 13 is 169. So all I have to do now is to collect like terms and simplify. Looking at this side, I know 13 will go here 2 times and 13 will go here 13 times. Now for this, I can write x squared, bring this one closer to it, y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 9 plus 1 equals to 25 times 2, that is 50 over 13. Now, if I want to simplify this, we have x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 10 equals 50 over 13. Now, I want to clear off all the fractions that are there. For me to do that, I can just put everything here over 1, and you will see that the LCM of 1 and 13 will be 13. So I just want to multiply each of these sides by 13. Now, if I want to multiply everything by 13, 13 times this will give me 13x squared. 13 times this will give me 13y squared. 13 times this will give me minus 78x. 13 times this will give me minus 26y. And 13 times this will give me 130 plus 130, which is equal to 13 times this. We cancel out, leaving me with 50. Then let me take this 50 to this side, and we have 13x squared plus 13y squared minus 78x minus 26y plus 130 minus 50 equals to 0. And finally, I have 13x squared plus 13y squared minus 78x minus 26y, and the addition of this thing plus 130 minus 50 will give us plus 80 equals to 0. And this is the solution to the second part of the equation. We have easily found the equation of the circle. I am sure your answer is the same as mine. That means we have both done it very well and correctly. So this is the solution to our question. We have the circle whose center is 3, 1, and it is touching a straight line whose equation is 5x plus y minus 6 equals to 0. And we were required to find the radius of the circle and also to find the equation of this circle. And we were able to find the radius of the circle to be 5 root 26 over 13. Now, the equation of the circle is giving us 13x squared plus 13y squared minus 78x minus 26y plus 80 equals to 0. That is the solution to our question. I hope to see you another day with another very interesting question. I hope you enjoy your time. Bye for now.